greetings, and welcome to Heal Talk Tuesdays with Liza. It's so good to be here with you, isn't it? Wow, here goes another month, and here we are approaching summer, and I hope you are doing well. Today we're going to be talking about pain, going from pain to gain, all aspects of pain, and I'm going to give you tools. As a matter of fact, if you want to, you can even text HEAL. Is it HEAL or is it pain? Text HEAL, and you will be directed to a page that you can download this information that I am talking to you about. You can also calendar and have a session with me, a discovery session. As a matter of fact, today I'm also going to be talking about this incredible session that I had with one of my favorite humans in this world, and he is Dr. Sirus Yazdi. So before I go any further, I hope that you are doing well. And let me make sure that I can see everyone and making comments, because this is going to be a wonderful session. So, you know, as a clinical hypnotherapist, my mission as a certified clinical hypnotherapist and stress management consultant with over 20 years of experience, having gone through massive transformation of my own, going from panic and anxiety, pain, walking on eggshells, even managing my own yo-yo weight, to being where I am is now to help individuals who feel overwhelmed, anxious, and undervalued go from pain to gain by eradicating self-doubt and heal their past traumas through my 3E method. So what do I mean by going from pain to gain is everything that you have and that you are. This is one of my quotes. You needed, you created, and perhaps you settled for, but you no longer need to. Because a part of my 3E is what happened in the past is now your history. Today, you have the opportunity and the choice to create a better story for yourself. So stop hanging on to the past stories. Now, here's one of the things that I like to talk about. What is pain? I've turned pain into an acronym, which is PAIN, and going from that acronym to GAIN, which is the GAIN. So personal growth and development in itself is a transformational process which improvements are made in your physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual realm. So by saying that, everything is a process. Everything we do is a process. Timeline is a process. Managing your day is a process. So although I'm not as much of a process system that I called myself, I'm not, you know, I realized I'm more process systems, and I've created so many processes. To me, it's creating programs, it's writing, like writing a blog or something. So I wonder if your perception of who you are and what your abilities are is only a perception, and what others perceive you to be is different. So let's talk about some pains that we have. One of the perceptions, or your own reality, the pain is, this is why they come to me as a hypnotherapist, is feeling powerless. Now, when do you feel powerless? To be powerless is being without the ability to influence or have the power. It can be commonly mistaken for feeling helpless or hopeless. Okay, and it can be difficult for you to overcome this if because of a feeling attached to that. So there are two things to consider, and what you can control and what you cannot control. So let's go to the next one, which is the A, feeling powerless, and then the next one is when you are feeling anxious, having anxiety, and yet feeling anxious. So in a way, anxiety, anxiousness is a feeling of being overwhelmed and apprehensive. It's possible that you are feeling worry, which is something negative from the future that has not happened, and yet you're creating it in the present. That in itself can create anxiety because it's from the outside, but what you feel is anxious. So an anxiety attack builds slowly, and that's how it attacks. And if not treated, it can turn into a panic. So everyone feels anxious now and then, but what we do with that anxiety is something that is the tools and the techniques I have for you. What does the I stand for? The I stands for a feeling insecure, which is an emotional insecurity that refers to the instability of a person's emotional state. It can be traumatic event, something that you may have felt long time ago, maybe inferiority in a relationship, or something that may have caused a long time ago as a kid. In short, insecurity sets when something threatens your ego, as well as it could have been in the childhood or recent experiences. But when we delve deeper, we see there's a rippling effect that it started long time ago. Here's the N. N is for negative thoughts. When we get consumed with all that negative thoughts, negative thinking it creates a pattern of negative talks about yourself and of your surroundings. So when you're not feeling good about yourself and you are in that negative mode, believe it or not, no matter who is around you, you will even have negative thoughts about other people and about things. Everything is like dark, it's dreary, nothing is working right, and it's something that we all engage in. You're not an exception, but how you come out of it, the tools, the techniques that I have, I'm going to mention. So allow me to say that what I do through hypnosis is take you from feeling this pain, feeling powerless, insecure, feeling anxious, feeling negative, to the gain part, which is growth, which is gaining a more control, making active decisions to begin your own journey of personal growth. And what it means is developing this transformational process, another process that you have the tools and the techniques to feel better physically, mentally, and emotionally, right? That's the growth process. So feeling open, feeling better, to coming to acceptance, accepting yourself, the act or state of accepting yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally, liking who you are. Yeah? Appreciating yourself. And comes from all things that it's about you. And even from your past, feeling worthy, feeling appreciated. To that part of you, the I, which is the inspiration of feeling independent. You know, from insecure to inspired. From feeling pain, feeling powerless to growth. From feeling anxious to feeling acknowledged and accepted, right? And from, the insecure to feeling inspired and independent, so that you can stand up for yourself. That when you feel moved by a situation, it stirs something inside of you, and you say, oh, I feel so inspired to do this. I feel inspired to whatever. So simply, when that inspiration inside you is stimulated, aroused, uplifted, and you feel this surge of goodness and exhilaration stir up in you, you want more of that. So we are moving from what is negative, downward spiral, to an upward spiral, and going into a growth level, feeling more joy inside. And the N is for the nurturing. Nurturing is tend to your needs, is to supply yourself with nourishment and care for your feelings, what you want, what you feel, everything. So this nurturing is to communicate with yourself with kindness, the ways that brings playfulness and joy and even movement. And always remember, in order for you to heal within, you're only one thought away from transforming from that pain level to the gain. So, as we go into this aspect, hello, Sada John. Hi, Adrian. How are you? It's so good to be. Hi, Susan. Long time no see. When was the last time that you were in this pain mode? If you can only remember. Now, here's why I'm saying this. Because so many think of hypnosis or hypnotherapy to be something, oh my God, I'm going to give all my secrets away. Am I going to be asleep? Am I going to be quacking like a dog or bark like a dog? None at all. Just this week, I had the honor and the pleasure of hypnotizing Dr. Sirus Yazdi, who in the past I've also done a dialogue, and we did a live Instagram, and he interviewed me because his specialty is managing pain, and being an anesthesiologist in the Chicago area and working in the hospitals. We did an interview. It is on YouTube. I will put the link in here so you can also go and see it. It's so natural. So what is it that I helped him with? Is managing his migraines. And when he said, Lisa, would you do this live? And his question, is it even possible for you to hypnotize and help me through this process over the internet? By all means, yes, either Zoom or live, yes, it is possible. So why I'm saying this? Because hypnosis is an internal process. It is an internal process and not an external force. So when I take you into that beautiful realm of trance state, into that zone, and I guide you, that's where the word mesmerism came about, because of not only by Mesmer, that was many, many centuries ago, Frederick Mesmer, he did this and mesmerized folks, and then the term hypnosis that came about, that it was like, wow, it's a sleep state, but it's not sleep. It is a trance state that we go into in our own mind. So tapping from our conscious state into the subconscious mind, right? And I've shared this many times, where this pattern, this entire format, your subconscious mind that stores everything, even knows where your pain is, where it started, what was the culprit, what was the trigger, and I guide you to that level. And by questioning, and you will see this entire transformation. And it is a transformation, because taking you from here to another time and a place, where we call it timeline therapy, included with hypnosis the suggestions that you can easily tap to that very moment and find the beginning. Perhaps you can pinpoint where the pain started. You can pinpoint where your patterns or habits began. And that's exactly what I do. So I will put the link in here. You can even go and find on YouTube mine. I will be sharing it on my YouTube. If you prescribe, you will also get to see my other links and all the YouTube's sessions that I have done. You will get to see testimonials, how I have helped someone release another headache just like that. Yes, in the middle of a convention, right? And she said, oh, I have a headache. I got to go and take an Advil or something. And I said, do you mind if I were to do something and give me 5 minutes for me to work with you, and in 5 minutes just temporarily release your headache so you can continue with the seminar? And she said, by all means, yes. And right in the middle of the seminar, we were in Vancouver, and I took her outside of the seminar where everybody was sitting, 300 women. We went outside. She sat down in a chair. I came, and right there, and that we had so many people coming and going, coming and going. You know, it's a seminar. You can't stop people. But what happened in that 5 minutes? I took her from A to Z. Okay? That's what I call it. And rapidly took her to a state of relaxation that nothing else mattered. In hypnosis, you hear everything. You are quite aware. As a matter of fact, your awareness is heightened. And yet, as I guide you to another deeper level, you get to focus not what's happening around you, but what's happening within you. So that's the difference between hypnosis and meditation. We become so precise and locally focused on what we want versus everything else around us. So that's exactly what I did. Again, text 818-221-2797, text HEAL, and you will go to a landing page that all this information is right there, and you will have a link that if you want to do a discovery session with me, a complimentary discovery session, by all means, it's right there, and we can connect, and I am here to help you. So, hey, Stephen, hello, how are you, my dear? Thank you for being here, so helpful, thank you. Is this something that I can download? By all means, yes, yes, yes. All you have to do is what I said. Just text HEAL, HEAL, to 818-221-2797. Thank you for the reminder. Again, going from pain to gain is a choice. Sometimes there are folks who still hold on to that pain because it has a secondary benefit. Now, what is that secondary benefit? Some people, the pain, even though you might say, why would anyone hold on to a pain? True. We don't do it consciously. We do it subconsciously. Because for whatever reason, that pain that you, although you think, it's the worst pain, I'm suffering through this, why would I want to keep it? The secondary gain of that growth, of feeling acceptance or feeling acknowledged, It might be by someone else. It could be you are being tended to. It could be that there is more attention given to you. Maybe not by you, by someone else. And for whatever reason, magically, that your subconscious mind says, ooh, I like the attention I am getting. So I wonder, if you think more deeply, is it possible? You see, this happens even with children. Children who fall and hurt themselves, believe it or not, you can check. If you have children, you might even remember it, that kids do this. They say they fall, and as they fall, the first reaction is to cry, right? But that very moment when they fall, it's like looking up, and if they're in a playground and the kids are still playing and they fell, they get up, they look around, and if the game is going on and they want to be a part of that game, they run back into the game. But if they fall and the pain is not, okay, it's not serious and it's just a fall, and if they look around and there's folks that it's like, and the mom, especially the mom is watching the game or something, and mom goes, oh, and the kid starts crying, running to mom. It's like, take care of me. So they get attention. Here's what happens. If mom turns around and says, oh, sweetie, that's nothing. Did you just hurt the ground? Did the ground hurt? Or if you hit the table or the chair, did you hurt the chair? Did you hurt the table? Oh, it's okay. Let's wipe it off. Go back to your game. And if that's what happens, the child goes, huh, okay, this was not that bad. So the memory that stays in the body or in the psyche, it's like, you know what? I'm not here to make a big deal out of this pain. I can get back to the game and all good. But if mom consoles and loves and hugs and does everything, then the child remembers, the muscle has memory, and the psyche and the subconscious remembers. If I fall, if I hurt myself, and I look around, I know how I can get attention. Remember, that's the first few times. And then the subconscious remembers that as this is a great pattern. I'm going to lock it, I'm going to save it, and I'm going to use it when I want it. Fast forward, being much older, as an adult, when something happens, and it doesn't have to be tragic, it can be something minuscule, it can be something minimum, and guess what? That little tantrum child remembers, and the subconscious remembers the pain and says, when I was in pain, I got attention. I'm holding on to this pain. As long as I've got the pain, look, I'm getting attention. Look, I've got more people taking care of me. Look, oh my God, let me make this stay. So recognizing the part that this method is no longer working for me, and that's not how I like to have attention, because I'm a grown man or a woman, and I can deal with it better, is how you can, if it is, again, allow me to say, if it is psychosomatic and it's not a secondary gain and it is not truly something medical that you really have to take care of it. Because when pain comes, it is there for you to pay attention. And you go to the doctors, or you take care of it. If you've got a broken finger or something like that, it is not for you to just kiss it well. You need to go tend to it, have it taken care of, put everything in there to stabilize that finger or hand or whatever needs be. So, I too have had broken bones, fractures, fractured, as a matter of fact, I'll tell you this, my sternum right here, there's a point that if I were to push it right now, oops, it happened. So it's just like there's a part of pressure on my sternum. If I were to push it, and it just goes, you know how you crack your knuckles? It cracks. So before I was an assistant to attorney, here is sharing a part of my life. Before I even got to the law firms, before I was even married, when I was 19 years old, I went and became a private investigator. And from there, I got hired. I did private investigating for about 2 years. Yes, following people and doing all that. And then I was hired by May Company. Before May Company, it was Robinson's May. That's how many Pac-Mans this company has had. So I was hired by Robinson's May, and I was part of their investigative, private surveillance. And that time, so many years ago, I can't even remember. At that time, I was much smaller and thinner. So because we didn't have, what do you call it? Okay, surveillance cameras. I was the surveillance. I was put in through the AC vents, and I would crawl to a point that it was, that one vent was overlooking like one cashier. And if we had if we thought that that cashier, so there was an embezzlement or money was missing from that cashier, from that place, I would be one of the watch people, and I would stay there for probably about 2 hours, 3 hours during this person's shift in order to see everything. So for 3 hours, I would be laying right there through those vents and then crawl back. But one time, how I hurt my sternum was chasing someone, and at that time, they had clothes racks. And as I was chasing this person who was stealing the clothes rack, he just took the rack and threw it back, pushed it back so he can run, and the rack hit me at my sternum, and I got flat out. Now, that memory, that trauma, a physical trauma that affected my sternum, every time I feel something that it's the fight and flight, believe it or not, it affects my sternum, and I have to push it to release that pressure. Truly, I'm sharing something that I hadn't shared in many, many years. By releasing that pressure, it gives me a sense of relief. I can breathe better and continue my day. So I no longer need someone to come and tend to me. I no longer need to go to the doctor, but I have found my own tools and techniques, just the same way as I hypnotize myself and I do the root canals with no anesthesia. I have learned this to be my tool to release pressure from my sternum, so it's not affecting my digestive or my breathing, and I can go on. So I've turned my pain into my hands, that I have the tools to constantly be in the game. I hope this message was beneficial to you. Again, by all means, text 818-221-2797 with the word HEAL, H-E-A-L, and I'll be more than happy to give this PDF to you if you want the PDF. You can even schedule a session with me. We can have a discovery session and go from there. And let me see. Oh, okay. If you have any questions at all times, contact me, message me, DM me, and I will also place the link for you to see this incredible video of me hypnotizing Dr. Cyrus Yazdi for his migraine headache. It is now time for me to say goodbye. Thank you for being here. For those of you who are present right here, and for those of you who are watching this on a replay, thank you. Just hashtag replay. Let me know what I can help you with. And until next week, God bless you, and may the universal light surround you. Bye-bye.